Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zoronden, and today you are tuned into a fan game of Starcraft 2. Again, this is a game sent in by the fans to Zoronden@gmail.com. You can check that out in the information below. And we are going to check out how this High Diamond League match goes on the map Cloud Kingdom. So let's watch back, sit back, and watch how these two guys go head-to-head in this PvP mirror matchup. I haven't done a PvP mirror matchup in a while, I don't think. So this will be exciting. PvP tends to be my least favorite matchup, but all the mirror matchups have been getting more exciting lately, and frankly, I don't dread the PvP or any of the mirror matchups anymore. They're actually quite a bit of fun lately. So let's check out how these two bad boys are gonna do, and of course, let's bring up that name and introduce the guys, because I forgot to do that, didn't I? In the bottom left corner, we're gonna have the blue Protoss TeCH, and in the top right corner, the red Protoss Arnie. So let's go back down to the bottom left corner and check out what TeCH is doing down here. I have casted TeCH before. It was a match that he lost, but he went ahead and sent in another game here. He didn't send in the first one. I shouldn't say another game, but he sent in this game here. And check this out. Arnie's going for a little bit of cheese. Let's see if he does some sort of cannon rush or what he is planning. He does indeed have a forge that is just about to finish, so it looks like he might be trying to do some sort of sneaky cannon rush on TeCH here. So can TeCH evolve out of this and not allow Arnie to snipe him off? And there, of course, goes down the first cannon on the low ground. Not a bad idea, but he's going to quickly need to put one on the high ground, otherwise TeCH will easily oust that. However, TeCH does not have a forge on the way yet. He's just put down his cyber core. Unfortunately, I don't think he knows this is here. No, he has no idea it's here. This might turn out quite sour for TeCH if he doesn't do something quick, as a second pylon on the high ground, of course, has just gone up. And that first one already causing some issues for the high ground units of TeCH. Obviously, with the probe up here, as well as the cannon, the bottom cannon can already shoot. And good for Arnie, he is continuing to TeCH at his main base. He has a gateway coming up. We'll have to see if he continues to drone at all. Of course, TeCH himself is, of course, getting, I've said of course like 8 times in that sense, he's getting stalkers out. He does have a zealot out at the moment right now. He's trying to get at that probe, but it is hard with that cannon up. And that cannon right there is going to start causing issues. However, the stalker is going to come out and be able to shoot those cannons. However, with 2 of them going down, it's going to be hard for TeCH to take them both out. And is he going to commit to that? I mean, at this point, if these 2 cannons alone go up, it's going to be near impossible for TeCH to retreat out of this base. Now, he does have a forge up. I'm not sure where he put it. It's way back there. So he can get his own cannons and eventually stop this cannon rush. But obviously, these 2 cannons, looks like that's going to be all for now. These 2 cannons are going to cause considerable issues, especially all 4 if TeCH was forced to do some sort of retreat to change his main. He is going to end up losing this gateway, but I don't think these cannons can reach anything else. This one might be able to hit the cyber core, but that would be about all of its range. So, with the expansion stuff back here, TeCH is starting to take a nice TeCH lead, and that cannon actually cannot hit that cyber core. So, Arnie needs to abandon this right now and go home with this probe and start teching extremely. Now, he does have a cyber core of his own, and he's getting a second gas, but as we see, TeCH is just about to have a robotics facility come out, and if he pops out a couple of mortals, he'll be easily sweep over these cannons, and he will have a quick TeCH advantage on Arnie, which is nice that TeCH will have a TeCH advantage. I always like when that circumstance works out. And it looks like Arnie might be going for a natural expansion at a very non-natural position. So we'll have to watch that and see if he does put up a second up there. For now, TeCH is going to allow one of his stalkers to just kind of pot shot this pylon out. No rush to get it because he's not taking these cannons out anytime soon. Obviously, he's going to have a immortal on the way. do not think he popped out an obs. Let's check that unit tabs very quickly. No, he did not. And Arnie is taking advantage of the situation that he knows he's in, and he has not produced any war-mongering units. So no zealots, no stalkers, nothing like that. But he is throwing up quad gateways, so he's going to be sitting at 5 gateways. It's going to be a very strong position. But check that out. TeCH has found a sweet spot for one of his stalkers. He needs to get the other one out of there. Oh, he loses that stalker unnecessarily, unfortunately. However, the other stalker found a sweet spot and was able to take out that pylon. Now he can move in and take out this other cannon quite easily because that immortal is up. A little bit of nice micro. Moving that stalker out, not losing it. He needs to get him out of there again. Took a little bit of unnecessary hull damage. But the stalker is going to move in, or the immortal rather, and the immortal almost took hull damage. Just something to keep in mind when you're trying to do some nice micro with that. If one cannon, one pylon exists, go for the cannon. The cannons have less hit points total than a pylon. It is only worth going for the pylon when there are 2 or more cannons. Anyways, TeCH did a very decent job of clearing that out. Obviously, with that immortal is what allowed him to do that. He did lose a stalker, unfortunately, and took a few hull hit points on this stalker. The hit points at this level, not that important. However, losing a stalker always hurts. And Arnie has indeed grabbed this sneaky ninja second. Not really a natural, since naturals are only outside your own base. So we'll call it a sneaky ninja second. And we'll just call it the second from here on out because sneaky ninja second is a freaking mouthful. But I am actually impressed that Arnie transitioned out of this cheese pretty well. He contained TeCH for a while, and as soon as he realized he was not going to win the game with that cannon rush, he jumped ship. And he went into teching. He took that probe home, or at least to a Xel'Naga watchtower, something like that, and, you know, abandoned it very nicely. So that was a nice transition by Arnie. Of course, he still does have a deficiency, especially since he's sitting on 600, almost 700 minerals. I mean, he could pop out a bunch of zealots and do a pot shot if he wanted, or something like that. You really got to try to not sit on those minerals, so that is unfortunate to see. And TeCH was supply blocked briefly there, but he has transitioned out of that. What I would like to see out of TeCH right now, though, is more probes. His probe production is going on, but not very heavily, and for a while there it was not going on. And he does have 2 Nexi. He could be pumping them out of both Nexuses. But as far as Chrono Boost is going, he is pretty on top of that. That is definitely good to see. He obviously has Warp Gate, which is an obvious. Nice Robotics Bay there, so we might see, and indeed he's already building it. We do have Colossi on the way for TeCH, as well as a second Robo. So he's going to transition into some Colossi, it appears. He could definitely use a few more Gateway units. Some more Zealots and Stalkers would definitely beef up that army. And look at this. I made a mistake back there, actually. I was harping on Arnie for not spending his money when it's actually TeCH that's not spending his money. So TeCH could definitely use to spend some of that money. And I think the problem right now is he's only sitting on 3 gateways. He could definitely beef up the amount of gateways he has. As for Arnie, I think he's been spending all his money on Zealots, which can be good, can be bad. I mean, he's going to definitely try and move out here with this Zealot army and see what he can do. However, if, TeCH's sitting on a bunch of Colossi, that's going to end poorly for Arnie, especially if this Thermal Lance is done before Arnie gets in. Now, that's going to be hard pressed. There's a lot of time left on that Thermal Lance, and it's probably not going to happen unless Arnie decides to sit down and have a picnic. But we do have some Archons coming out. That kind of seems like uninformation-based Archons, and indeed it is. He is just building blind Archons. That is unfortunate to see, as TeCH is going with TeCH. He's got a lot of mechanical units. He's got Immortals. He's got a Colossi. Stalkers in the bunch. There's only a few Zealots, and throwing up Archons isn't going to be the best choice for TeCH, or for Arnie. Obviously, these Zealots are going to wallop that Immortal, though, and this is going to end up bad for TeCH if he doesn't do some right positioning, because that is a lot of Zealots, and they do have charge. They're going to back off for the moment. They do not want to engage that Colossi. They don't really realize if he has Thermal Lance yet or not, and it is nearly here, and that is going to be a big change for this engagement. That Colossi is going to be able to sit farther back. So here comes that engagement, and everybody's retreating. Arnie doesn't want a piece of that. He is scared of that Stalker, and he just made the wrong choice in units. And that is something that is key to scouting out the map, guys. Arnie made a blind army decision and ended up having the absolute opposite to counter TeCH. TeCH had actually built the counter army to Arnie, and he didn't really know. He was just going with a strategy, and Arnie shot for Zealot Archon, which is a curious TeCH decision. Now, again, it is only Diamond, but at the same time, it's Diamond. So, Diamond's kind of that mystery middle league that it's like, you should have some sort of plan in your head. You should have some sort of strategy that the pros may or may not use. And if you don't, you might still get by. So it's that curious middle ground. And in this case, Arnie may or may not have had a strategy in mind, but he did go with blind Zealot Archon, which the key there is blind. He did not scout. He didn't know what he was doing. And unfortunately, he just kind of guessed wrong. Anyways, we have TeCH now with a pretty decent army. It's not huge by any means, but it's definitely diverse. Couple of Mortals, couple Colossi, obviously Thermal Lance now done. A nice blocking of Stalkers as well as Zealots. He could probably use a few more Stalkers Zealots, but that is okay. He's going to go for the attack right now, opting not to warp in anything else. He has a Warp Prism. He could even do some high ground drops or warping. Is that not quite what he's going to do? He is going to deploy that, so there may be some warps in. We need to watch that. It could be some nice flanking capability. Now he's going to go after the army here. Can he do what he needs to do? Of course, some nice force fields going down. It's very nice, in fact, going down, and I don't see a problem with that. Those guys are going to get liquefied very easily. In fact, they are trying to retreat, trying to save themselves, but they are very, very trapped, and a few more force fields. A little wasted of energy there, but that's okay. And now he's going to start going for that high ground attack. Nothing out of the Warp Prism just yet. Some more warps in coming on the low ground. I would like to see that on the high ground. There's nothing up here to save this base at all. Arnie may be abandoning ship already and going for his natural over here. At this point, though, Arnie is in serious trouble. I do not see how he can repair from this. In fact, I'm even going to speed it up a little. And probes off the line. I'm not sure why TeCH has retreated here. What is going on? Oh my gosh, I am actually going to back up. We have completely missed some sort of attack in TeCH's base. Too busy watching that big attack, and looks like we had some warps in off the pylon here, and a nice Zealot incursion. The unfortunate thing here is that TeCH has a pylon up here, and he's winning in the base race. Of course, if he eliminated Arnie's base, he still wouldn't know where this base is. So ultimately, this retreat is probably the best decision. I don't know if he knows that, though. So, again, it's a lack of information situation. I'm going to switch to... Ooh, TeCH does know that base is up there. He should have gone for the base race. He very easily would have won that. But he goes back for the defend. He's going to easily mop up his the Zealots attacking, and he will live to fight another day. Or so will Arnie. And the question is, does TeCH go straight back to the offensive? And it looks like he's going to. In fact, he may go up here and take out the second, which I definitely do advise at this point. He's going to straddle right on up here and easily sweep this out. Of course, Arnie at this time is building up another Zealot force. But again, it's just Zealots. These guys can only do so much damage. Oh, and TeCH left these two assimilators here. That could be a crucial mistake on his part. He's getting angsty, and he wants to take out the gateways. But unfortunately, he left some buildings behind. And if it came down to a base race, those could be an issue. Especially now that there is some sort of production base down here. It's not really a third. It can't mine. It's some sort of... Oh, and DT's coming out on the field. This could make a muddy, bloody situation for TeCH. He doesn't have any cannons in his main anymore. He's going to have to pump out some obs if he wants to do anything about that. Is Arnie getting a second DT? Yes, he is. He's throwing up a Dark Shrine down here at his third. So, some crazy base race situation going on here. Arnie actually doing some very nice damage now with these DTs. TeCH wanting to commit, trying to do his best damage here. With this pylon out here, he's in a good state. And he snuck a probe out. Very nice. He's going to be able to build some buildings. Unfortunately, he does not have 400 minerals, so that will not be a Nexus. So it's definitely going to have to be something he will defend. Good catch there by TeCH. He's going to take out these buildings here. Don't leave any stragglers behind. He needs to quickly go south. Arnie has this stuff here. I do not think he knows that's there, though. Unfortunately, no, he does not. And the DTs have quickly and pretty much mopped up TeCH's main. So at this time, he's sitting on a pylon. Now, he does have that probe. I'm not sure where that little guy went. Let's make sure he still has it. Yes, he does actually have 2 probes on the map. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know where they're at. And look at that. Arnie has so much money, he's thrown up another Nexus in TeCH's original main. So a crazy base race going on here. There's one of the probes loading up into the Warp Prism. Very, very smart, considering Arnie has no anti-air at this time. So you can run that probe around. He will not die, period. And you can plop pylons down in random places. These stalkers just kind of camping there. Not really needed. Quickly mopping up this third, I say that in quotations, base here. And TeCH is in serious danger here. Does he have a pylon down? Indeed he does. He knew that was coming. And Arnie knows where it is. He's in hot pursuit. TeCH needs to go somewhere and get another pylon down immediately. That is going to come into serious danger here. However, TeCH can simply defend it, which looks like he might be doing. And Arnie is kind of suspicious of that. He wonders if that's going to happen. Unfortunately, TeCH has just discovered Arnie's Nexus. So if Arnie wants any chance in this, he has to move now. He has to target fire this pylon and try to win this game. Of course, he has thrown up an assimilator. Very nice call by Arnie just in time. He actually canceled that Nexus. And he goes in there and he tries to do it, but Force Fields, Colossi, Immortals, Stalkers, all of that bunch. Arnie does not stand a chance. And a crazy base race coming down to a pylon versus an assimilator. And Arnie calls the GG. Well played by both players. That was pretty intense. I mean, there were some basic mistakes in there. I talked about them when they happened, so I'm not going to rehash on them now. Anyways, I want to thank TeCH for sending in this game. I actually had quite a bit of fun casting it. I haven't had too many fan submissions lately. Hopefully that's going to change soon. So if you want those fan games casted, your games casted, send those into Zoronden at gmail.com. That's in the information below. Again, thanks to TeCH for sending this in. Congrats to him for that victory. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Please do thumbs up and subscribe. Help me out. Small channel trying to grow. Every bit you commit helps me grow so I can bring you more content like this. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you for tuning in. I am Zoronden, and I will catch you all on the other side.